Okay, if you're here, you're wanting to know how to use the Eevee model, and so this tutorial is going to cover mostly everything in terms of downloading, installing, and setting up your model. Excuse the bird noises in the background. So first, you'll have purchased this item through Etsy, and it is a digital item. Nothing will be shipped to you. So you'll need to go to your Etsy account, and you're going to go to Purchases and Reviews. And you're going to click over here where it says Download Files. And then you'll click Download down here. And you'll get a zip file. And what is a zip file? A zip file is basically a folder. It's a folder of items all in one file. That way I don't have to send you 12 different files. You'll get one file to download and then you'll unzip it. It's basically like a present. You have to unwrap it when you get it. So you'll have downloaded the Eevee file. Usually it will download to your downloads folder, or it will download to, for me, I have it download to my desktop. Regardless, you'll want to go to your downloaded file, and you're going to right click it, and you're going to click Extract Files. From here, you can specify, do you want it on the desktop, or do you want it, etc. Sometimes it will also even open a window kind of like this, and then you'll just drag this folder onto the desktop. But if we do extract files, I'll go ahead and just put them on the desktop for now. So now you've gone from this folder to this folder. So these are the same thing. This one's just unwrapped, so you can, open up all the goodies inside. So we won't need the zip file anymore. I'll go ahead and delete it. If you ever need it again, you can just re-download it. But now we need the unzipped version of the file. From here, we're going to install it into VTube Studio. Now, where is VTube Studio? You'll have to have installed VTube Studio through Steam. I have a tutorial in my YouTube channel about installing Steam and installing VTube Studio if you need help with that. But for now, assuming you already have VTube Studio installed, here in Steam you can go to VTube Studio, and then if you click this little gear icon that says Manage, you can select Browse Local Files. And what that does is that shows you where on your computer VTube Studio is installed. This is important because you have to put the model folder in VTube Studio. So from here, so for example, my Steam is installed on my D drive. Here's my Steam library. It's in Steam Apps, Common, VTube Studio. From here, we need to go to VTube Studio Data, and then we need to go into the folder Streaming Assets, and then we need to go into the Live 2D Models folder. I have 10 billion files in here because I make models. You probably will only have like 5. From here, the Eevee folder that we unzipped and I put on the desktop, just drag it and drop it in here. Let it copy those files into this folder, and then with this, your Eevee will be installed into VTube Studio. So now let's actually open VTube Studio. Okay, so now that we have VTube Studio open, we are going to, if you don't have your little icons over here, just double click and the icons will show up. From here, we're going to select a model. So we're going to click Change VTS Model, and we are going to get the Eevee model. It's going to load, and for me, it's automatically tracking because I've already set up my webcam. If you need help setting up the webcam, go ahead and go to Settings. Click this camera icon. Make sure you have, so for example, if it starts and it's not tracking, make sure you click over here that says camera on. And also make sure you choose your camera. For me, it's my HD Pro webcam. You can tinker with tracking quality and tracking type. I would recommend watching a more in-depth YouTube tutorial on webcam tracking. If you're going to hook up an iPhone, there is a similar process involved, but you'll actually do it, I think, under the main gear settings, and you'll turn on connection settings. There's a YouTube tutorial on that. I don't have an iPhone, so I can't really walk you through that process. But let's turn my tracking on. So let me go to my camera. I have my webcam plugged in and selected, and now I'm going to turn the camera on. If your webcam isn't working for some reason, you might have to close and reopen VTube Studio. So now we have our little tracking going on. But now let me show you how to set this boy up in OBS. So we're going to double click the background. We're going to go to the background icon over here, and we're going to choose all the way at the bottom, well, almost at the bottom. We are going to choose color picker, and usually by default it's going to be like a green. Personally, I recommend you make it black because the model's line art is black. And then make sure you have transparent in capture. You need the transparent in capture for the window to be transparent. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to like hide my VTube Studio, and I'm going to show you OBS. One second. Okay, so here we have OBS open. From here, while my VTube Studio is also open, I'm going to add a new source, and I'm going to do game capture, and I'm going to name it VTube Studio model. So I click OK. I'm going to specify capture a specific window, and I'm going to specify that window is VTube Studio. And we want to make sure that we allow transparency. See how the background behind him goes away? We want that. Now your model will show up above, your other sources. And then in VTube Studio, you can click and drag your model around. So I like to kind of put them in the bottom right corner. From here, we're going to change the model's colors. By default, it will load as the normal colored Eevee. And let me kind of show you some examples of different colors you can do with this model. I'm going to click the gear icon over here. And for the moment, I'm going to show you my hotkeys that I have set up. I have a couple different colors set up. So I have the normal Eevee color set to F1. So if I press F1, it will remove all of my colors and it will be the blank model. If I press F5 or F4, it will be a shiny Eevee. And if I press F5, this is kind of like a custom colored Eevee that I made. I just named it chocolate. It's kind of an example. So you can see a little bit more of the markings that exist in this model. I added some extra markings. That way, if you have a more unique looking Eevee, you can make your model look more unique. So you're not just only the basic default Eevee. We also have different hairstyles. So if you push F2, we have this little tuft of hair. If you push F3, we have this little tuft of hair. And then if you push number key 1 and 2, there's a scarf you can turn on as well. So to make the Eevee white, it'll load brown by default. Just click F1 so it will be white. That way you can color it how you want. So now that it's colored, or now that it's white, pick the hairstyle that you want. Do you want F2? Do you want F3? Do you want the default one? I'm going to do F3. Okay, from here, I'm going to go to model settings over here. And then to actually color this model, we are going to click this button here that says Customize Model. And we are going to customize multiply/screen color for art meshes. Here you can see all of the pieces that make up this model. There's a lot of pieces. So as you kind of hover, parts will turn red, and in the top left corner up there, it will also list the name of the part that you're currently highlighting. So there's a lot of pieces. It's going to take you a little bit to get used to doing this process. For now, let's start with the base colors. Let's do the head base color. Let's say you want your Eevee to be, I don't know, you can pick literally any color. There's no wrong color here. Let's do maybe like a kind of a dark black. And then we can take note of what this color is. So I'm actually going to open my notepad. I'm gonna say base color is 383838. And you can also like physically oops copy and paste it. So come here, you 383838. 383838. There we go. You can copy it. So I'm gonna click OK. OK. And now, if you want to use the markings, if you hover, you'll notice there are 3 markings kind of stacked on top of each other. These are just 3 different options. If you don't want to use them, so like, let's say you don't want to use the big triangle one, you can turn it on and you can paste the same color. Oh, but let's say you do want to use that, this large round piece, but see how it's kind of covering, like you can see it. If you drag the alpha to 0, what this does is it hides it. It makes it transparent. So we can set the alpha to 0. We can make the alpha 0 on this one too. And if you don't want to use the round head marking round, you can also set that to 0. For the lips, you don't want to set the lips to 0. So you're going to want to copy either the head marking color or the base color. So I'm going to just click the lip. Where is it? Here. I'm going to click the search icon. Oh, it's not searching. Double click the background. If you want to search, you have to double click the background and then click search. It's not working. Why is it not working? Oh, there it goes. Okay. So let's search lip. Do not press the X and don't press cancel. Don't press cancel, you'll lose your work. So let's do the upper lip color. I'm going to paste my previous color. Oh, nope. See, I pasted the transparent color. See, it's accidentally made it invisible. And now you can see some of the clipping. I don't want that. Let's make it that, and then we'll do the 3838 color. There we go. Okay, we can also do the mouth color. So let's do the tongue. There it is down there. And the inner mouth. Cool. Let me show you the eye. So the eye is broken up into a couple different pieces. You have just the default sclera, which is this piece. You can do it red, you can do it black. Personally, I think black looks cool, or maybe like a dark red. Let's do dark red, and I'm gonna go ahead and just mark down that the sclera is 36080A. I'm gonna copy, hit OK, and I'm gonna click the other sclera. I'm gonna hit paste. And then there's an upper gradient. This piece. Let's do like a bright red. Upper gradient, paste. This is called eye blob. And there's eye color notches. Oh, my bad. This is called eye color. So there's eye color here. So we can make that red. You can make it purple. I like red, so I'm going to do red. Let's do the eye color over there. And then the eye notches is just the little lines. You can make them yellow. You could lower the transparency. I'm not gonna go with red. I'm basic. Okay, I'm gonna make a goth Eevee. Paste. Let's do the nose marking. Let's make it red. Let's make a goth Eevee. Why not? Alright. So now let me click the head base color. I'm just gonna click OK, and then I can paste the ear base color. I can just click paste. Paste. And you'll notice there's a lot of pieces going on with the ear. We have the ear highlight. Oops. Which is this top line here. I like to kind of make it a lighter version of the base color. I'm gonna paste it on this one. And then there's an ear gradient. So there's like this piece. And then there's an ear tip color. This piece. So if maybe you don't want to use the ear tip, you can turn it invisible and then you won't have this line. You can just turn that off. Or you can use the ear tip. Inner ear. Shucks, I'm gonna make like a fire themed Eevee. I will make a Flareon model eventually, but and you'll notice the shadow is gray. I like to change the shadow color to like a pink or a purple. That way it kind of makes the model look a little more colorful. Goodness, there's something stuck in my throat. One moment. Okay, I don't know if that helped, but we're gonna keep going. Inner ear color, I'm gonna click OK, and I wanna make the fluff, the chest fluff, the same. And so for the chest fluff, there are 3 pieces. There's chest fluff R, chest fluff center, and it's fluff R, fluff center, and then fluff L. So we can search just fluff. And we can just hit paste. Fluff L base color, fluff R base color. And again, you'll notice there's a gradient as well as a tip, similar to the ear. Ear tip color, okay. Fluff gradient color center. Gradient color L. Gradient color R. And again, you don't have to use the gradients. You can always lower the opacity or make them, completely transparent, so if you don't want to use them. Make the tip red. Fluff. Tip color. Fluff. Tip color. Cute. Okay. Foreleg color, same thing. And same with the foreleg. We have a gradient and then the tip. For the knee, we only have the gradient because the tip is on the actual foot. Let's do the gradient color. I'm going to copy that one. So let's do foreleg gradient L. Foreleg gradient R. Maybe I'll make the foot yellow. I think that's cute. So we're going to make the foot yellow. I'm going to do the same for the foot tip color. Let's paste the yellow. Foot tip color R. Let's paste the yellow. I'm going to copy the orange gradient. Foot gradient color. Foot gradient color. Knee gradient we can do as well. Here we go. I think he's looking pretty cute. Now the tail. Let me do the base color again, and I'm going to do the base color of the tail. Tail base. Paste. Again, we have the gradient and the tip color. So let's do the gradient one orange. We'll do the tip, or the tail mark in yellow. And then there is a tail tip and we'll do that in red. All right, now for the hair. Oh wait, the body. See, the body's white under here. If I move, the body's white, so I need to change the body color. I'm going to copy the head base color, the body color, and then the foot base color. Okay. Now for the hair. Well, actually, I want to do the highlights. I want to make the highlights look like kind of yellow. Let me paste those. There, I think that looks better. Now it looks like he's kind of in a warm environment. For the hair, you know how we do have multiple hairstyles. If you want your Eevee to be compatible with just switching the hair, just search for hair tuft, and there is hair tuft B, and hair tuft C. Right now we have hair tuft C equipped, so I'm going to show you. Let's go ahead and make hair tuft C. Let's do the yellow, and then we'll do the orange, and then I'll make the tips red. And then the highlight, I can do, you know, you can do red, you can do yellow. I'm gonna make it kind of like a light yellow. And then the shadow, you can change the color of the shadow if you want. I'm gonna make it a smidge, just a little. There, like that. And so hair tuft B isn't visible right now, and neither is the default hair tuft. The default hair tuft is the default like little fluff up here. So I'm going to copy the head base color, double click the background, and I'm going to search hair tuft. Hair tuft color. Again, it's not visible, but I'm going to go ahead and paste that black color on this one. I'm going to click, don't click, here, double click on the background, and don't click cancel, click, actually here, let me change the nose real quick. Let's make the nose black. I'm going to click OK. I'm not done coloring my model yet, but I'm going to go ahead and click OK. And now I'm going to do my custom colors. I'm going to set it to the number 1 and 3 key. So key 1 and key 3. In the hotkey action, to save my colors so I never have to recolor this model again, I'm going to click Art Mesh Color Preset. I'm going to hit Record Settings. So I've changed the colors of 70 art meshes. But now that I'm back, I'm out of the coloring mode, and I'm back in the normal mode. If I push F2, you'll notice, oh, this hair isn't colored. If I go back to, what's this one's F3, let me push F3. This was that hairstyle that I did paste that black color on. So I want to color hairstyle 2, so I'm going to go ahead and press F2, and then I'm going to go back to the model customization. I'm going to do the multiply screen color for art meshes. I can now this one's visible, so I can color hair tuft B. Let's do hair tuft B gradient. The tips are going to be red. And the highlight I want to be light brown. Cool, so now that one's colored. So I'm going to click OK. I'm going to go back to the hotkey settings. I'm going to open my custom colors again, and I'm going to record. So now I have those 4 pieces added. So now I can switch between all of the hairstyles. Whoops. 1 plus 3. Now I can switch between all of the hairstyles, and they are all colored to kind of match my color scheme. But let's color the scarf. By default, the scarf is not turned on, so if it's not visible for you, you'll have to push 1, 2, and if you want, you can always change these key combinations. You don't have to keep them to the ones that I have set. But now I'm going to change the scarf color. So again, we're going to go back to model settings, going to go customize model, customize multiply screen, and I'm going to search scarf. So I have scarf color. And now you'll notice we have plaid markings kind of on top of this. So if you wanted to have plaid, you can. So you can change the colors, you can change the opacity, or if you don't want to have any plaid, you can just turn them all invisible. So you can just have a solid scarf. Ooh, I kind of like these little lines, so I'll keep these ones on. And the scarf shadow, I'm going to make a little darker. There we go. And same for the end of the scarf. It's called end. I'm going to make it dark. And the plaid pieces are on. I don't want the plaid, so I'm going to go ahead and just drag the transparency to 0. But I do want those lines. So I'm going to make it, turn that back on. I'm going to make it a little dark and maybe turn it off a little bit. There. Click OK. Go back to my hotkey settings. I'm going to go back to my custom colors, and I'm going to record that. So now this is saved. So if for some reason you open the model and it's missing all of these functions, like it's back to the regular Eevee, well, I can push 1 and 3, or whatever keys you want to set. I like to use 1 and 3. Now I have my custom Eevee colors, and if I need the scarf back on, I'll push 1 and 2, and there we go. And then you can switch between all the different colors anytime you want. Yeah. So now we have our Eevee customized. Very fun, very cool. Let's continue to the next part of the tutorial. Okay, so this next part of the tutorial is to kind of tinker with tracking based upon your webcam quality, the webcam position, and your actual facial features can affect the way that the model tracks your face. So we're going to double click on the background. We're going to click the gear icon. We're going to click the camera icon. So here in the camera menu, we have some options. For example, we have model tracking when lost. So let's say I'm talking, I'm streaming, and then oops, I accidentally lean out of frame of my webcam. Model when tracking lost. So when the webcam can't see me anymore, it's gonna go back to default. If you want, you can have it stay at pose, but sometimes your model's in a weird pose. I usually just do go back to default. I haven't messed with the webcam parameter calculation mode, so I have no idea how this works. Eye blinking. So I usually have it set to always. You can have it set to when face is rotated or never. This lets you be able to blink or wink. So if you want to be able to wink, you can. Sometimes you get the lizard blink effect because the tracking is weird. So I like to I don't wink a whole lot, so I usually just link them always. That way, if I close one eye, both of them will close and they'll always blink in unison. Here you can tinker with the blink sensitivity. You can drag it up. So I'm barely squinting. My eyes aren't actually closed, but my webcam thinks they are. Or you can set it to min, so now when I'm squinting, it's tracking me better. I open sensitivity. I usually leave them at the default, but you can tinker with these. Mouth sensitivity. So mouth open and mouth smile are two different functions. Let me kind of show you what those functions are by using the expression editor. So let me show you what the mouth functions are. So this is mouth open. Mouth open only does this. just opens the mouth. And then mouth smile is like the mouth form, so that's actually like if you're frowning or smiling. And so based on the position of the corner of your lips, so if I'm smiling and my mouth is open, you know, it's going to do this. If I'm frowning and my mouth is open, it's going to do this. So these two parameters play together to create your mouth forms. So for me, I go ah, o, u, I, ah, o, ah, o. You might tinker with some of this. So let me do mouth sensitivity. Ha, ah, e, ah, o, ah, ah, e, ah. The quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog. Or I can lower the mouth open. The quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog. I'm going to put the mouth sensitivity down to 0. The quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog. I like it, I don't know, for this particular model, I think it looks good with mouth open at 50 and then mouth sensitivity at 0. Because it is tracking like my smile and my frown. So I'm going to leave it like this, but if you feel like it's not tracking very well, you can tinker with these. Brow sensitivity is like, Eevee doesn't have eyebrows, so your eyebrows actually control the ears. Oh, and they also kind of lower the upper eyelid. So when your eyebrows go up, Eevee's ears go up. When they go down, the ears go down. I don't really notice a whole lot of difference dragging this one, so I'm going to just leave it at the default, which is 50. Oh, and then you have visual effects. So you can add effects onto your model. So let me show you backlight and outline. So let's turn the effect on. Oh, why is it not showing anything? That's weird. Oh, activate. There we go. You have to activate them. But this is how you can make your stream look pretty interesting by applying different effects. So I'm gonna turn this off. Turning off the bloom. Let me turn off the particles. Let me show you backlight and outline. So you can turn it on, you can make the background colors kind of blur into your thing, you can make your model really dark, you can change the darkness of the background, backlight strength, you can change the color of the backlight, so I could do a pink, or a yellow, or red. Definitely watch a tutorial on the VFX in VTube Studio. There's a lot of fun things you can do. I'm going to turn them off for now. Display lighting is another one that, based on the things that are on your screen. So if you're playing a game, a dark game, this will actually move, and then if your character steps into the lighting will affect your model based on the colors of your monitor. See how it's kind of showing VTube Studio right here? That's a thing. Again, watch a tutorial on it. I'm not going to really cover that here. But let me show you. Oh, we have movement config. So what is movement config? It basically gives your model a little bit of extra movement. Notice how he's kind of floating around on the screen now. So when I tilt up and down, and I can lean close to my camera, and I can lean far away, this gives your model a little bit of extra movement. It's great if you're doing a stream like this where you can't really see his feet and you want that extra floaty movement. But if you want Eevee to sit in place and not have him float around on the background, turn that off, and then his feet will stay in place. Physics, you can make the physics stronger or less strong. You can remove all of the physics. All of his tracking movement is actually based on physics, so you're going to want to keep the physics. But the default is this. I have it set to 70, so when you receive the model, it's going to be set at 70. It just makes him kind of whooshy. But let me show you these functions. Let's say you have limited neck movement. Maybe you're wearing a neck brace. Maybe your body just, you can't turn your head left or right very far. So looking at the camera right now, I don't have like any neck problems, so I can turn my head really far just naturally. But let's say maybe I had like a neck injury and I can only move my face like maybe a couple degrees left and right. So you see the input here? So when I'm looking like at my camera's seeing me kind of as a -4. If I look all the way to my right or all the way to my left, oh wait, this is Y. This one, left and right. So like looking directly at the camera, I'm like at 0 or 1 or 2, and then if I look all the way to my right, I can easily reach to like 40. I'm getting a phone call. 1 second. Okay, back to the tutorial. Let's say, when I turn my head to the right, for me, I have full neck movement, so I can easily look all the way to 40. I have to look really far. Like, I am looking at my wall across the room. I'm not even looking at my monitor. But let's say you don't want to have to move your head very far. Like, maybe I'm only ever going to be looking at my monitor, and I only ever need to turn maybe this far or this far. Looking at the value that's saying that it's like around 20. I can change this to be 20 and -20. So now I don't have to look all the way at my wall to get the furthest movement. I'm going to go ahead and leave it at the default. If you have questions about this, definitely feel free to check out my various YouTube tutorials. I cover this a lot in my model tutorials that I send to people. But let's say, so body movement. Notice how he leans to the left and to the right. Let's say that you don't want him to do that for some reason. That's going to be under body rotation Z. Like, you can set these both to 0, and now when I tilt my head, Eevee's body doesn't move. Or you can set it to like half of it, so we can do 5 and -5. And now it moves, but only a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and leave it at the default, which is the full range of movement. So you can adjust the output. So this segment here is the output. And then this is the input, and it will usually give you like the default. You can always change it back to the default. Here we have I-form anger. So what this does is, based on your brow input, so when my brows go up, see how they go to 1. Now when they go down, see how it goes closer to 0. And now see how the upper eyelid is kind of like going down. If I were to remove this, I'm moving my eyebrows, but notice how like Eevee's eye shape isn't really changing. I have it set that way because Eevee doesn't have eyebrows. If you lower your brows like you're mad, the eyelids will kind of make that mad eye shape. If you feel like it's happening too much, you can set it to 0.5 instead of 1, so it happens a little less. You can set it to 2, so it happens like really fast. I'm gonna go ahead and leave it at the default. But like, let's say your natural face is like Eevee's always looking mad. So let's say, pretend this was my natural expression, where my eyebrows are kind of low. It's showing that it's kind of hovering around 0.2. I would probably put this to 0.2. And then, yeah, I don't know. It's kind of hard to explain. It's just one of the things we have to tinker with it. I-form GGG is probably the only one that, or not GGG, ear plus brow is the only one I think you'll really need to mess with. And that's when your eyebrows are up, Eevee's ears go up. When the eyebrows go down, Eevee's ears go down. So for me, this is the lowest I can get my eyebrows, is like 0.10. So I could set this to 0.1. So now my eyebrows are as high as they go. This is my neutral eyebrows, and then this is my down eyebrows. So if you wanted your Eevee's ears to be down more, you can just lower this value, or you can raise the value. I think I had this set to -0.5. I'm going to leave it at the default for now. Feel free to tinker with these. That should help. And I think the next part of this video, I'll show you like how to pin items to your model. Okay, so let's go to the item pinning function. So we're going to actually click this red X up here, and we're going to double click the background, and we're going to click this green star icon. This is going to let us pin items to our model, and you can just pick an item. In my Etsy shop, I have hair tufts, so if you wanted to make a new hairstyle for this Eevee, you could buy the hair tufts, and then you can, like, let's put them above the model. And then you're going to want to click Configure and Fine-Tune Live 2D Item. I've used this in a previous tutorial, so that's why there's colors on it. But I would just kind of drag it. So click, imagine, you know, like a paper doll where they have the little, like, anchors, the little rotation dots? Click where you would want that rotation dot, like where you want that piece to glue to your model. So for me, I'm going to click it up there. And I'm going to let go. It's not perfect. Actually, I'm going to stick it to the head rather than the top hair. Not perfect, but it works. I'm going to click Save, and I'm going to click, if it's a Live 2D item, you can customize the colors for it. All of my items that I sell, you should technically kind of be able to do this. So you can change the colors. If you wanted to put like a new hairstyle on there, you would have to buy like hair tuft pieces. Configure. Save, yes. Base color, let's make it red. So this is an option if you wanted to, you know, kind of create a poofier anime hairstyle for your model. For now, I'm actually going to just delete these. I'm going to show you another item. We'll just do like a bow or something. So let's just scroll down. Most of these are items that come installed with VTube Studio. If you want any new items, you'll have to download them from Etsy or Booth or Ko-fi. Let's do... Actually, let's do the... I don't know. And you'll notice there are different types of items. See, this one says Live 2D on the side. These ones are rigged, and they have like physics, and they move a little bit, and you can sometimes change the colors. Whereas these ones, they don't say Live 2D, so they are just flat PNGs. Let's give him some sunglasses. So your model is on layer 0. If you want it to be behind the model, you're going to want to go into the negative value. If you want it on top of your model, you're going to put it any value higher. I'm going to put it at like 5. You can't put 2 items on the same layer, so I'm going to put it on like 10. I'm going to click OK. And pin to Live 2D model. So I'm going to click OK. I just got a notification on my phone. And now I'm going to like use my scroll wheel. I can shrink it. I'm going to click kind of in the middle of these glasses and then kind of just like let go. I kind of want to use this marking. There. So now my Eevee has glasses. Let's say I want to be able to turn these glasses off and on with a hotkey, or I want chat to be able to redeem them as like a thing to put on my model. We're going to go to this icon, which is an item scene for hotkeys, and we are going to create a new scene. I'm going to name this sunglasses, or pink sunglasses. I'm going to put this in the item group glasses. And what is an item group? An item group is when you load an item scene that has a group, all other items with the same group will be unloaded. For example, you could have a group called hats. to make sure the previous hat is automatically unloaded if you load a new one. So I'm just going to do one for glasses. And now I'm going to go to my settings. I'm going to go back to the hotkey expressions. I'm going to go down here, and I'm going to name this pink sunglasses. I'm going to set it to hotkey Q, just because I can. Hotkey action, we are going to load or toggle an item scene, and we are going to do the pink sunglasses. I'm going to put it on Q. So now when I push Q, I can wear sunglasses. Now let's add a different colored sunglasses. Let's say, you know, maybe I want to be able to like change my glasses depending on the game I'm playing or whatever I'm doing. So let's go back to the item settings. Actually, I'm going to push Q to remove these glasses. Now I'm going to put another pair of sunglasses on here. Let's do these heart glasses. These ones are a live 2D item, so they'll have some movement. I'm going to put it on layer 10. Cute. I'm going to click OK. And I'm going to customize the colors. Oh, these ones are not named at all. Okay, this piece, I want these to be like red. Yeah, see, this is why I name all of my art meshes. It makes it easier. That one. Okay, let's make that red. Okay. I'm gonna hit OK. And now, let's go to item scenes for hotkeys. Create a new item scene. I'm going to name this heart glasses. I'm going to put this in the glasses group. I'm going to hit save. And now I'm going to go to my model settings. Create a new hotkey. It's going to be heart glasses. I'm going to put this on W. Hotkey action, we are going to toggle an item scene, and I'm going to do the heart glasses. I'm going to put it on my key. So now if I push Q, it unloaded the heart glasses. Or if I push, it will unload. That way you don't end up like stacking 2 layers of glasses on. I think that just about covers it for this tutorial. I can't think of anything else that we need to really add. If you have any questions, please look at my various YouTube tutorials or look up a tutorial on YouTube, and you can always message me on Etsy, and I can tell you what is or isn't possible on the model. Good luck, have fun.